Docho tin the Hava Zambala, get the new and Seva Kunshi, Dunden Pampi, something you can. Tahi dele person so far show. Dele Jinhoma Chimbu Sasayons Chapter Churchy Lama Kuncho Sanga Hyonsalo Dogen Sentient Tam Chechi Dzogchen Lapanzet So Susan Dungar Genta Chechin Chen Nyashon Me Pon Hua Jelaso Semchen turned near the Donchana Tambanam Junintazar the soul. Good morning, good afternoon, good everywhere. Again, I want to say, Dharma brothers and sisters, firstly, again I want to say, how are you? Everything is okay. And today is we start second Sheda's course, and of course physically we are not together in this place, which is the Dharma city, but mentally or through the camera we can see each other. I'm very happy. It is a very privilege to be in the front of you and also to talk with you and also to study about Dharma with you. And also I hope you're doing well. And according to the pandemic, I hope everybody is okay. Nobody's something receive some negative. Hope not. And here in Dharma city, all the noble sanghas, they are quite doing well. I'm included, we are very well. Dharma city is going well. And others students, they really, Dharma activities quite impressive how is their development, how they are studying. But I am like resting in Dharma city, just sleeping, eating, sometimes going to swimming pool, that's all. But anyway, it's a wonderful place and worldly perspective, fantastic. And that is here small short information. And today we are going to study the special book written the Patrul Rinpoche and called The Word of My Perfect Teacher, or the Dzogchen Ranyak Patrul Rinpoche. It has there is 3 chapters. Ordinary preliminary practice and extraordinary inner preliminary practice. Then the Mpoa, the main part. But we are in the outer or common preliminary practice. Itself has 6th chapter, and the beginning, the start, difficult to find human existence, and then impermanent, so on. And we already studied 4 chapters, and recently we studied together the defects of the samsara. And now is the 5th chapter, the benefit of liberation. Benefit liberation, of course, it is the very important, and we can to say liberations. When we are start to study this book, and of course we have purpose, reason why we are studying. This book is very much connected to the Buddha's teaching. Buddha is, of course, I don't need to mention to you, but the founder of the Buddhist and Buddhism. When we enter into the Buddhism, and which kind of we need to know, and also it's like what is really Buddha he found, and what he found something during his life, and maybe in the physically or verbally, mentally, particularly he discovered something mentally, and then he has a very nice experience, and then this experience he offered to us to say, I discovered something in my mind, I experienced. It is a wonderful peace, tolerant, calm, like a free. And that is the quite wonderful things. This kind of realization, experience, or to test any kind of sentient beings can do. And these things are, which is I found it, is not only like myself. I discovered these things, or this, it's every single sentient beings they have. Whoever have, or whoever mind, wherever mind, if there is mind existence and this quality is theirs, you don't need to begging to the Buddha or God or any others in order to have these things, something into your mind, what I discovered. And nobody's need to install you. Nobody's cannot take away. This is like kind of your basic fundamental. This is the basic your home. This is the basic your causes of the good, and also it is causes of all the good things. And that one is really wonderful that I discovered. Maybe I will tell you how I discovered, how I like kind of the finally to made manifestation into my mind. Afterwards, they call me, my name is the Buddha, enlightened. And I said, okay, you can to call me enlightenment. Whatever you can call me, you can call. You can to say enlightened. It's quite a nice name. But you can call me Buddha or you not call me the Buddha. It doesn't matter. I discovered in my mind as something very special, very much, as I said, free. He said it's like one beginning, I was very much emotional, and also it is ignore fully of the disturbing emotions. And of course, when I see to others sufferings, and also I'm very much pain, how I can to help to them. I can to help 100, 200, 1,000, 1 million, according to my position, according to my belonging, according to my richness. But they're only limited. I cannot help limitless. And when I saw the sum and these situations, he said, then I really very sad, very depressed, anxiety. Of course, I have a wonderful family, wonderful situation, wonderful consort, wonderful son. Worldly, almost that my life is the fantastic. But he said, when I saw the others, there's such many is not like same me. They are sick, they are dying, they are hungry, they are killing each other, they are eating each other. Inconceivable sufferings. When I saw that, then I said, how I can to stay like this? I can to enjoy my pleasures, entertainment, but all those are sufferings, what they can do, how I can to help. I cannot enjoy with my pleasures. I need to do something. If I don't do something benefit for them, my life is nothing. What it is. Therefore, I talk to my father, mother, wife, son. I need to do in this my life for benefit those suffering sentient beings. Of course, in the Buddhist perspective, that is the generating bodhicitta. But he say like this. And therefore, then he left from palace. And of course, he met many scholars, erudites, learned science practitioners, sage, rishis, science. But what he put the questions says, who can liberate those suffering sentient beings? Someone said, we don't know. We can to look into the space, maybe someone. Someone says, oh, Shiva, God. Someone says different things, but he never ever satisfied all these answers. Why he not satisfied? There is a reason. He think if someone has power, strength, this is the qualities in order to liberate other suffering sentient beings, then he think why they don't do it right now. And he have this kind of questions all the time. Is difficult to follow up. And then finally he took his own path, 6 years, and then he said, in my mind I discovered it can help. Like he says, and after the enlightenment, I analyzed with special sage, special practitioner of there's his one disciple. It's I think it's not Anandat, but another one in Tibet you call the Wosung. I forgot in the Sanskrit. You know, he went to there to talk. His name is Wosung. In Sanskrit, I forgot it. And Wosung Dipos, he's quite really is like a, how do you say, it's like a great sage. He has a lot of students. But he saw the Buddha. Immediately he teasing. You are like a kind of orphanage. You don't believe God. And then you haven't got any liberations. Buddha said, maybe this is true, but can I talk with you? Wosons, these other ones, the Rishi said, okay. They are talking in the near the Ruvanjana, in the one river, and he said, okay, if I believe something else, God or something else, in the externally something, doesn't matter, any Lama or deity or God, doesn't matter. And I need to cross this river. How I can to cross this river? Could you tell me? Then Wosung and this sage said, maybe you can to take a boat, maybe you can to swimming, or maybe you can try to cross. Buddha said, yes, that's quite very good, you reply me. But if I don't do nothing, I don't want to move, I don't want to take boat, I don't want to swimming, I don't want to cross. I choose to sit, pray to say, externally, someone's naturally to transform to other side, other shore. Someone can do it? The sage said, maybe not. In this perspective, I need to move. I need to actions. Oh, yes. Okay. And then why I need to action? If someone has a power, strength, and then they can magically to bring to other side. And the sage said, I think it's impossible. And then he said, that is my path. If I move, if I'm doing something, yes, I can to make liberation myself. I can to cross this river. Or I can to move, I to put action, I put effort. Maybe I can take a boat, I can to swimming, I can to work. If I move, I doing something, I can to cross. But you didn't give me answer correct. Now I'm worst, difficult to believe externally. And then this sage was so wonderful, logical. It is truth. His mind is completely changed. And then he said, can I follow you? Can I become your disciple? And then he became the disciple of the Buddha. And then it's like this. He said, afterward, or maybe he said afterwards, then he give to us what he found in his mind as liberation, benefit. And he said, it's like, in your mind, there is the true nature of mind. Your intrinsic nature, your kind of the basic the mind, or principal mind, or we call the nature. Why we call the nature? Because it is not dependent on any other cause and conditions. It is nature. This one is not depends the samsara nirvana. This is free from the birth, old age, sickness, death. It's not given by both. It's not given something else. It's naturally endowed into your mind. That I discovered. This is very peace, I said. Why? Because with you, with that yourself, or with this your own intrinsic nature, is to go to the middle of the suffering of the samsara. It's never damaged. It's never something is influence, or it is like kind of some damage. Nothing. It's all the time is unchangeable like that. And also, you can say, when I become the enlightenment, I did something like a clean up or something made nice. No. When I discovered it is nothing need to change. Itself is nothing can do clean it. It is free from the samsara nirvana. That I discovered, I'm free from the sufferings, all the. Maybe this is not true the rich, not true the power, strength. And this is like we can to find, to look at your mind, to search in your mind, analyze your mind. You definitely to find. When you are find, you discovered as yourself really the true. Truly you discovered your truth. That is I'm talking about liberation. And such there's a benefit to yourself, such a benefit for other sentient beings. Yourself is like kind of free from the samsara. You haven't got any fear or terrified, panic to the samsara. You realize that samsara is the part of yourself. Samsara itself is become your true nature realities. There's nothing kind of the sufferings. Nirvana is also, you don't need to put hope, or I want to become nirvana. And this perspective, you are already nirvana. There's nothing kind of regain nirvana. It is like this. Mind is become the free from the hope, fear, expectations, and like this. That is the benefit, liberations. And then that is like Buddha's message. He's almost at 40, more than the 42 years. He talked about that. And that is his path. That is he discovered his own intrinsic nature. And that is his like subject matter. And now we can coming back to in this text, we be in the serious to truth our own self, to look at our life, how it is, without destruct, without a kind of careless. And we need to tell ourselves, to say which sort of transmigration or being, which place am I? Yes, I am in the human realms. That I know. Okay, am I? I am a human being. And then I am a human being. Really? This is called the human beings. Looks like wonderful. And then you enter into the Buddhist path. Maybe I can to learn something. Maybe I can do something to discovered in my life. Then we are compared to our human existence, and we checked how it is the human existence. Human beings, we discovered so extraordinary, so fantastic, really. And it's any kind of animals cannot compare. In this world, there is powerful animals, expensive animals, elegant animals, beautiful animals, but human beings is the best. And which kind of we can to say cause and causalities, cause and conditions. Of course, Buddhist perspective, in order to obtain the human existence, we need some certain cause and conditions. That is obvious, we studied. And any worldly, someone is like truthful, someone's really serious person or gentle intelligence to analyze is a human existence is a fantastic. And we discovered really is the good. Maybe when we enter into the Buddhist path, when we study the human existence, it's make to us so happy. I'm a human being. It's a wonderful. I can to run, I can to study, I can to make up, I can to earn, I can to make delicious, I can to talk, I can to analyze, I can to explode all in this world. And also I can to see the beautiful, ugly, I can to smell, and also I can make distinctions, and also it's like pleasant, I can to experience, nice experience, pleasant. It's wonderful, really wonderful. When we look at some in the human handicaps, and some is like a kind of the problem things, they are obtained a human, but there are something problems. Of course, Buddhist perspective, you know that there's a different cause to provide different the result. And in the scientific perspective, maybe we can to say some human beings are rich, some humans is handicapped, some humans are stupid, some humans are very intelligent, some humans very rich, happy. Why? Who did? Maybe they says we don't know. Maybe some element, or maybe some in your body's problems. Maybe some others like a kind of spiritual path to say, or maybe your problems spirit, maybe God, deity, Lama, I don't know. Someone says, but in the really the Buddhist perspective, we done something, and when we eat the poisons, we sick. It's nobody's maybe gift, but we sick. And like this, something maybe the already some done something cause, and then it's a result is like this. I make joke. This year I planted some vegetations, and I opened the seed like a kind of the cucumber in French, cucumber. And when the seed I opened, all the seed is absolutely the same, but put in the ground, and then they grow up a little bit different way. Maybe seed is the same, but a little bit different coming out. Probably there is also seed is maybe has some different, because maybe when a seed is die up, some seed is more perfectly maturated, some seed is a little bit. And also one is like I put in some is conditions, of course, like different. Like this, one of our human beings is they're different. But anyway, we are discovered the human, then we become very gentle. What I need to do right now, just to carry this distracted mind. Sometimes we are testing in Dharma City to say that today is a big Friday. Drink, swimming pool, sauna, dance, and music. Everything is, yeah, nice. And some is in our Sangha said this is the how do you say, regretful or like a getty pleasures. Getty pleasure, absolutely. Then finally, headache, didn't study, okay, dance. And time is gone, and already 12 o'clock, nothing done. Okay, swimming, and saunas, eyes urging, red. Then you go to the bed, immediately, then getty pleasures. In the morning, yesterday, doing nothing. Like this, and maybe in this life, we have a wonderful situation, okay? Every day we can choose which is delicious drink, which is the delicious food, where can I go? We have money, position, everything. But this one is only to like this. I'm not sure it's meaningful. But some intelligence then analyze, what can I do? And then it's like, okay, I am the human existence. I have everything. But then it's intelligent discover this is not forever. We studied already impermanent. It's terrible, terrible things, When you're talking about terrified, in these years, according to COVID-19, this pandemic, thousands of human beings dying. And rich, powerful, happy, beautiful, handsome, they are dying. And death is they are reached. They can't do nothing. I'm going to die. Money cannot help. Poor cannot. Powers cannot help. Families cannot help. Dying. They are like kind of, maybe we got nice coffee. I don't know, box. Sometimes they put nicely on the ground, sometimes put very ugly on the earth. And birds like this, even the scaring things. And these situations, when we don't know, maybe not necessarily this pandemic, death is like our shadow, impermanent. Very important to think impermanent. Now, before the struck the impermanent or impact I studied, impermanent on in our life, we need to do something. Impermanent, ugly to say, is death process. When we look at the pandemic killing to the human beings, inconceivable sufferings, difficult breath, fever, I'm going that. And then slowly outer dissolution start. And eyes running. And you are going to next life. We need to leave everything is in the behind. Your richness, your money, food, house, family, partner, children, parents. Just you maybe it's before die few tears. That's all. Then you go alone. Who can to be with us? Very difficult. We understood that. Then it's a little to hurry up what I need to do. In the Buddhist perspective, now to hurry up to thinking about the liberation, thinking about the benefit. Yes, if you want to make happy in this life or want to make a happy life in the futures, to hurry up a little bit, speed to up to do something. Liberation, benefit of liberation is a wonderful word. When we said benefit, wow, liberation, liberties, freedoms, extraordinary word. But if we are not liberation, then this liberation word is what is the useful? Nothing. We need to make liberation ourselves. And before we die, our kind of the thinking about the liberation, freedom, is not externally. Externally someone is like kind of controlling. Maybe it's like kind of they captured us. Maybe they like kind of put a prisoner, cannot move. And maybe they thought something, oh, I'm not freedom, says. They cannot like kind of the forever like kind of the prisoner. They cannot make prisoner our minds. Our minds, who can to make prisoners? Only our own self. We created some ugly robber, army, dictator. That is we call the disturbing emotions. That's we call the disturbing emotion army. And these armies to make prisoner our minds, that is big problems. And we need to be free or liberation from our disturbed emotions. Like I want to say direct, sufferings. You know which kind of suffering? Suffering of the birth, suffering of the old age, sickness, death. Of course, there's many different sufferings. For example, also sufferings of the anger, suffering of the disattachment, suffering of the jealousy, suffering of the ignorant. All of them are suffering. They base it as suffering. Whatever they produced is sufferings. And this is not existence in the externally, inner in our minds. And we do not understand our own intrinsic awareness. Mind is not liberation. And they are become like this. I want to talk to more there is. But maybe we can to chat slowly. You don't need to become tired. And therefore we want to make liberation our minds from mind. I don't want to say the external. Our mind, our liberation of the body, speech, mind need liberation from our own body, our own mind, our own verb. Of course, when we are studied the causalities, now we understood the body, speech, mind as actions. Body, verb, mind as these three doors can create positive, can create negative. Of course, positive and negative, good and bad, samsara and nirvana, yes and no, good and bad, everything can appear from the intrinsic awareness. Intrinsic awareness sometimes make a joke. The creation of everything is your own intrinsic awareness. Budding place, that is also your intrinsic awareness. You die or dissolved, everything is also into your intrinsic nature. Intrinsic nature is perspective, there is nothing existent something create coming out or something going in. But there is something is like expression. Very funny things. This is kind of like this. There's nothing existence substantially, or nothing existent, anything else, or I don't know, but everything comes from that. And in this perspective, it can come positive and negatives. Then there's positives naturally produce positive, negative naturally produce the negative. We understood that. Then we more to study the negative, like kind of the causalities. And negative causalities produced the defects of the samsara. And we discovered or they explored all the content of the samsara. We understood everything. Then it's a really, we are very, very precisely, and to be honest ourselves, to sit on the cushion, to think about, now what can I do? I want to be continuously or continually into the samsara, or I want to be liberated from this place, or I want to be continue like kind of stupid, ignore all the times struggling with my sufferings, or I want to something to make liberation right in this life. Can I make liberation myself? Yes, there is methods. The method is the path of the Buddha. And also it's like when we say the Buddha's path, now we are talking about the path of the Buddha liberation. Maybe some in the no-Buddhist perspective, maybe you can to say it's maybe not. This you call the liberation. Liberations, any spiritualities, any kind of religious, even the communists, they say it's the liberation for you. But of course, the name of the liberation, you can to use this word, any kind of. And you can to say it's like this morning, oh, my teapot is liberated. Why is it? Because I didn't make tea, he can to rest. Why not? I can to say that. Just a word. But we need to be serious. In the Buddhist perspective, what is the meaning of the liberation? That you need to think. Then if someone says, oh, I don't want to analyze, yeah, this is religion, you don't need. Anyway, no, you are not interested. We don't need to talk with you. Because if you are not interested, what? If someone's to give me some delicious chocolate, but I don't accept it, then this person's give or not give is same. Not benefit. Same like this. And if someone's telling says, oh, liberation in the Buddhist perspective, according to Buddha's message, maybe that's one is interested. Then we need to give what is Buddha said, what is the meaning of the liberation. And when we are liberated, our mind, body, speech, which can do benefit ourselves, benefit others. Then we need to study. We don't study, there's no interest. For example, I'm in Belgium. Beginning, I never heard the Belgium chocolate. Best chocolate. Better than the Switzerland. Sorry to say. But it's like they said this Belgium chocolate. I thought maybe what? Maybe taste of the Joa. I don't taste it, then what can I say? And someone says Belgium chocolate is delicious. It looks like color of the Joa. Surely I don't want. Like dark green is exactly. And some smell a little bit coffee smell. And then I say, no, thank you. And then they say, okay, you don't want it. And then it's a few years, then after I took a piece. Delicious. Yummy. And then afterwards, it's really truth. Delicious. Like this, if you present it, you need to analyze. If you don't really to discover it's useless, change. That is in the Buddha's path like this. Buddha, he said, I'm telling to you about the liberation, included the liberation, but there are many something. What is correct, what is incorrect, how you can to make benefit for yourself, others say. If there's something logically, like kind of like reasonably, it's not kind of relevant for you, he said, forget it. You throw out. You don't need to accept. Oh, you say, Buddha said like this, we should to swallow. He said, this is you really criticize. That is not my followers. This is a freedom, big freedoms. Then it's like, if someone's interest really to study Buddha's path, to think about the liberation, to think about the liberation's benefit for others, yourself, then we need to talk. Okay, maybe now I'm kind of to start our text. The title is the benefit of liberation. And first there is one homage by the Patrul Rinpoche say like this. What they say, the guide by many learned and uncompleted sublime beings. You have practiced and experienced the instructions of your teacher. You pointed out the sublime path unerringly to others. Peerless teacher, at your feet I bow. That is the first Patrul Rinpoche, the author of this book. His root teacher is the Jigme Ranyak. And of course, Jigme Ranyak, he followed up the many great masters. Jigme Ranyak's principle, his root teacher is the Jigme, omniscient of Rinzan Jigme. And he really like kind of the follow up the Jigme and completely policed Jigme. Jigme, his teacher, is completely satisfied. And he give maybe Jigme Ranyak. And also he said, now, the Jigme, he was in the central Tibet. And after he gave education, Jigme said, now you don't need to stay in the central Tibet. Go back home, come. Maybe your more activities, enlightened activity there. He sent back to his own areas. And therefore, and he followed up the many guide, such learned and realizations teachers, Jigme Ranyak. And also it's like uncompleted sublime beings. And also like when he follow up like those sublime beings, learned and realized extraordinary, for example, like Rinzan Jigme. And also Jigme Ranyak say, you have practiced whatever point out by the root teachers, never kind of ignored it. Whatever constructed or instructed to the student, the Jigme Jarvanyuk, by the Jigme Limbas, he never leave on the bookshelf. Everything's single instructions. He really to bring into the mind, to practice, experienced it. All the instructions by his own teacher of the Jigme Jarvanyuks. And then is of course, he become the realization it's the same as the own teacher, and he's externally obeyed all the teacher of the Jigme Jarvanyuk, and particularly for the qualified teacher we need to make the precepts, and we need to study. We study Dharma very well, and then this teacher is be very happy, and all the inner experience or inner realization of own teachers transform into the own disciples, and disciple is become the same as the level of the teacher. And afterward, he is successful of the own teacher, Jigme Limbas. He come back to Jigme Jarvanyuk. He has thousands and thousands students. Therefore, you, Jigme Jarvanyuk, point out the sublime path on hearing to other sentient beings, included Patrul Rinpoche. And like many, there is another same like kind of the Patrul Rinpoche. His most student is become very wonderful. And therefore here is the one of the Jigme Jarvanyuk student is called the Patrul Rinpoche. And he says the peerless teacher, extraordinary teacher, kindness teacher. And I really to bow. And in your feet I bow, and forever in like this. And this is the most very important. This is the you can to say all the sublime sentient beings or sublime beings, they do like this. Whatever they undertake activities, first time they pray, offering, and recourse to the compassionate sentient beings. And realization or compassion, kindness, someone's thinking benefit for sentient beings. To say, please think of me, I'm going to do like this and that. And this kind of activities may become the benefit for other sentient beings. And this kind you have the attitude or conduct, or you have ideas that in the Buddhist perspective also is like a bodhicitta, aspiration bodhicitta. There maybe is also your activities, afterward your activities become the application bodhicitta. And therefore this is very important. Before whatever you do, something activities, and like this, maybe we can to stop half an hour. Half an hour. Okay, we pause half an hour. It's good. Eat your hours. See you later.